everyone, this is me, Lily Boiko.
And Mira Uniat.
And it's our first live where we will be answering questions just like Mira answered my questions in our podcast. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, it's in bio, in the link bio. Yes, so today we have 8 questions now, and maybe we will have more. So let's start. Mira has the questions.
Yes, let's make it happen. The first question is how to find within yourself the resources to be in a state of love. It's a very deep question.
And we talked about it in our podcast. It was actually our topic of the first podcast.
Yeah, I think it's a deep question, but also it's a very simple question. I think I would start from exploring those areas within yourself that are taking you away from your love that's within you. Like in my own experience, for example, I got awakened through love, right? Through me falling in love with someone. But then I realized it actually had nothing to do with that man. It was me uncovering and revealing what was already within myself. So he was just a catalyst, right? A catalyst for that process where I dived so deep within myself and I found out so much love there that I realized that everything that I ever was looking for was within me. But of course, there were parts of me that were keeping me away from experiencing that. And that happens pretty often, for people who haven't processed their pain, and they still dwell in a lot of logical, realms. And that logic is a product of your past experiences, of course. And, if your old narratives keep spinning and you follow the instructions of old narratives, of course, you're staying in that, state where you feel like you need to look for love, and you feel like you need someone to feel love, you feel like you need something to feel love. But in reality, it's not about finding love, it's about finding what's keeping you away from it. What is it within yourself that keeps you away from it? What narratives within you keep you away from experiencing love? And very often it comes from like feelings of guilt or feelings of shame, or you're not good enough, not feeling worthy, feeling like you have to constantly do something to get a reward of love, and those are the things that usually keep people away from experiencing love within themselves.
Today I heard an interesting quote that happiness is not searching for happiness. Like you're happy when you don't search for being happy.
I think Peter Crone said this all the time.
Yeah.
The true happiness is in absence of search for happiness.
Right. And I think with love it's the same, right?
100%.
You're in love, like you feel love, in the state of love, when you're not searching for love from outside.
Exactly. Okay,
next question. Oh, that's addressed to you. Miroslava, how...
Maybe you would like to answer as well. What else would you like to share? What do you think is on the way for people to experience love?
I think that a lot of men are afraid to feel love. And afraid...
Only men? I think women as well.
I think women less often, but with men, I think women are more emotional and more connected to their inner self and to their inner states, and for them it's easier to express love, maybe. And men nowadays are struggling with maybe self-love, or because they had a lot of trauma in their relationships before, they are afraid to open up for a new person and give love and receive love. Like this channel is stuck
Mm-hmm. The energy flow, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So the next question is Miroslava, how to enjoy time alone with yourself without feeling lonely? It's a very interesting question because I think the best way to answer it would be from actually making a difference, like distinguishing being alone and lonely. So being alone is a state of being, like it's actually when it's just you, right? It's just you and you enjoy that state of being. Actually, I love being alone.
Me too. I'm alone for so little time because I have a child, and that's the time which I wait for the whole week, for the weekend, to be able to stay alone.
Yeah. So being alone, it's a cool state of being, right, Lila?
Yeah.
So, and I spend a lot of time alone as well, and sometimes I joke with people. In fact, you're actually never alone because you're always with yourself. So there are different dimensions in you. There is I, that awareness, that presence, that part that never dies in you. There is that I, the soul, and okay, I'm not gonna use religious term, but individualized consciousness, right? That I, right? For example, I am Mira. Existentially right now, I'm experiencing Mira, right? So I'm always with Mira. I, as a consciousness, as a awareness, is always experiencing persona Mira, right? So that's why I'm always joking, I'm never alone, I'm always with Mira. So it's in my best interest to create Mira the way I want so that I enjoy her company. So that Mira has pleasant thoughts, Mira has pleasant visions for future, Mira has pleasant narratives about her past. Even though Mira can't change the facts in the past, but Mira is working really hard on dismantling all old narratives and replacing the ones that she doesn't enjoy with the pleasant ones, so that I can enjoy Mira's company.
So then why people feel lonely, right? Mm-hmm. When they are alone?
Because they haven't found who they are. Because within themselves, they are very much identified with their thoughts, and they are very much identified with the body. Nothing wrong with that. But there is a part within us that's beyond our mental space and beyond our physical layer. And that's the part that is awareness, that part that is born when we start observing our mental self. Well, when we start observing the persona living within us, right? Because this I, it's all encompassing. Basically, the body, the persona, the mental structure lives within this I consciousness, right? And this I consciousness is beyond gender, it's beyond duality. It's a frequency. For example, my dominant identity right now is love. Whenever I go somewhere, I enter a new room, I'm not so much identified with Mira or my body, but how can I be love right now? Like, what would love do right now? And it's easy because if you choose to be love all the time, that becomes your natural state of being. And when life challenges me, and tries to kind of test how trained I am to play that, identity, the dominant identity of love that I actually appreciate those lessons as well, because that's where I'm heading. Like, that's my life vision. Like, I want to be always love, even in situations where people can't understand how I can be love.
And to add to this question, I think sometimes in relationships, people also can feel lonely, even being in a relationship. And that's because when their partner doesn't understand them, and when the partner is emotionally unavailable, when they don't share feelings, like a person wants to tell the partner what he or she is concerned about, but because the connection was lost, they can't do it, and they feel that the partner wouldn't receive the concern as like as it was supposed to be, because often the partner thinks that it's not just a discussion, but it's like he feels that his fault, like it's some fight against him, and then
a threat, potential threat,
yes,
right? His
yes.
nervous system reads it as a threat.
Yes, and he just shuts down.
That's that
and,
response, yeah.
Yeah, and instead of conversation which leads to dealing with this thing which came up, they have miscommunication, and then the person who started the conversation with time feels lonely because he or she can't share their thoughts.
So she didn't really receive a reflection or feedback.
Yeah.
So she sent out the energy into the quantum space, right? But she didn't receive the echo back, right? And she feels like she is lost, right? Because as human beings, as social creatures, we need all the time the reflection.
Yeah.
We need that energy to make a loop, right? And I think that's exactly what you were saying, when there is this almost like a disconnect where the energy doesn't make a loop. Like one of the partners is sending the energy out, but it gets misinterpreted, and the output is completely opposite of what was meant, and there is a big disconnect because then one of the partners doesn't feel like they are heard.
Right. Yes, and with time, the partner even stops sending the signal, like sending the concerns, addressing them, because he or she feels that the problem wouldn't be solved anyway. Like
Why to
even
waste?
start?
Yes. And then also what I wanted to add is that loneliness is actually what keeps you away from being in love with your life. It's like when you feel like it's you against the world. Like you don't feel like you are part of something bigger, right? Like the whole universe, everything is in constant cooperation and interaction. I always feel like I'm a part of like this divine flow of energy. Like I'm a part of this quantum wave that's taking me somewhere, and I'm just excited, where it's gonna bring me towards. And when I am alone, I get all these visions, I get some hints where I need to go, what I need to say, what decisions I need to make. So when you are alone, actually, it's the most productive time in terms of you connecting to the energy flow that will allow you to never feel lonely. Lonely is just a symptom of you being disconnected from the universe, from other human beings. And when you are lonely, you're not in state of love for sure, you're not in state of giving. So in that frequency, you can't really attract something that would prove you wrong. Like you will actually feel like it's you against the world. If a person dwells too long in a state of loneliness, of course, that's at the beginning of depression and all those, very low frequency states of being that nobody enjoys. So, but it all starts from you falling in love with being alone. And then if you love that, you will never be lonely.
Mm-hmm. Next question is for me, but you will also answer it. Lily, how not to be afraid to start your own business? Actually, I never worked for someone, so for me it's very natural to have my own business and to start a new business, because I think I'm changing, starting new businesses once in 2 years. I think I analyzed my past experience, and I think in 2 years I get bored with what I did before, and I want to start some new projects. I mean, previous projects usually are working, but the processes are all set up, and there are managers who do this, and I'm interested in starting something else, something new, just like with this project of ours. When we came up with the idea, now I'm very excited to do all these socials and to like, for now it's a small project and we're doing it together. Yeah, but I'm very excited about it, and I think when you have a vision, it's not there is no fear to start. And I mean, I am driven with this proverb or saying that how is it?
Regret.
Yeah, thanks. It's better to regret what you've done than what you haven't done. So, like, if you do, you will get some result, and if you don't do, you will get nothing. I mean, it's better to try something than not to try at all. Yeah, it may like be successful or not, but we think that it will be successful because it's a very nice topic now, and we're interested in it, and we're interested in sharing the experience and Mira's wisdom. So I don't see any things that we have to be afraid of. It's all like a challenge, and it's all like a game, I suppose.
Life is a game.
Yeah, I think a lot of people see new businesses as a threat, or as something that might not work, or they may get losses, but it's just your perception, right? And when you think positively, it usually gets positive.
Yeah, I think that if you have fear to start your business, the first thing that you need to work on is the fear, the state of being that you are in, because in a frequency of fear, it's really hard to manifest the desired outcome, right? And also not to look at it as a business to make money, but how to embody the qualities that would make an impact. Because if you are making an impact, and whether it's helping someone or guiding someone, or your intention is to share what worked for you, for example. The most successful business ideas are coming from very genuine life stories, to be honest. Like, that's what I heard. Well, I know that I am starting something that's coming from my own personal experience, and I'm just sharing my life journey, right? And my intention is to have an impact and help others who are probably experiencing the states of beings that I used to experience before my awakening, right? So I know from my experience, I don't even call it business. It's just me coming back into the world and sharing what I was able to learn about myself, because as human beings, fundamentally, we're all the same. We're all looking to experience more love, more joy, enjoy more life, right? And I was able to find those instruments within myself that helped me to elevate my frequency and experience more love in life. And I would love to help others to experience the same. So I don't even need a business plan for that. I just assess the level of the level of desire I have to help others, and I know it will be equal to whatever material once that energy makes a loop. For example, my intention is to help people. That's the energy I'm sending out into the world, and according to the law of the universe, energy does not disappear and cannot be created. It can be converted into something else. So that energy that I will be sending out, I know it will come back in any shape or form, whether it's money, whether it's, a recognition or whatever. Those are not the things that I'm chasing. I would say that my biggest ambition in this life is to experience the biggest amount of love within myself, because that will enable me to share it with others. And money will be an outcome of how much I am in love with life and what I'm doing in life, which is people what they call business.
Yeah, beautiful. And I wanted to add that me as well, I never wrote a business plan. I just, when I got an idea, I started doing something, and then it all worked out. And I think that when you first write a business plan, make a website or some other stuff which is not that important as actually doing business, you can get stuck on one of the stages even before starting, and then you would be afraid to start, and you will it will take time, and throughout this time till starting you might just step back and think that this idea is not good. That's why when we decided that we will make this podcast, Mira came to see me to shoot the first episode like in a day or something like that.
I'm like that. I'm crazy
fast.
like that, yes.
Yeah.
If it resonates with my life vision, see, like, I'm very fortunate that I was able to find my life vision and become clear within myself where I'm going, you know. And if I see that a person, situation, invitation resonates with where I'm heading, I'll be there as soon as I can make it. It doesn't matter, you know, like what happens.
Any part of the world. Actually.
Pretty much. Pretty much, yes. Because I have a vision that is bigger than me. You know, I have a vision that is bigger than Mira's and bigger than her body, than her needs of the body, you know, the vision that keeps me alive, you know, and hear those beautiful feedbacks from people that, you know, they were able to see things differently and fall in love with their life and change their perspective and perception. Like, that is music to my ears, right? And I think that if I get aligned with my vision more and more and more, money will be an outcome of that alignment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's go to the next question.
Let's go.
Why is it easier to condemn than to accept a person for who they are?
That's for you, for me?
You start. I will add maybe.
How about if you start and then I will add?
Okay.
Because if I tell you right now the answer, like, I want to hear your current perception and see if we can elevate it.
Condemn is like...
Yeah, so I want to hear your present perception, and then I will respond and see if we can elevate your perception.
Okay. Well, I think that when something doesn't resonate, like this person doesn't resonate with you, then it's hard to accept, right? Because it's just a different view of the person, and of course, like what you are teaching is to not to judge anyone, but to accept them, and then if we're talking about relationships, you just see the person and understand if he resonates with you, and then make decisions about him, but not judging. Or I don't understand the question. Very good. What can you say about that?
Yeah, so I always try to drive people back to the starting point, right? Like, it all starts from your relationship with yourself. What are you practicing on a daily basis? Are there still parts of you that you condemn? Parts of you that you are not accepting? Parts of you that you want to change? Parts of you that you are avoiding? Parts of you that you don't listen to? Like, are there still parts of you that you are condemning?
So when you condemn some parts of you,
you will do it with others. Like, that's a natural outcome. It's just a reflection what's already within yourself. So if you work on that part within you and ask yourself, what are the parts in me that I am condemning and not accepting, right? How can I elevate my perception to the level of perceiving myself where I can accept all parts of me, where I will stop dividing them on good and bad, because they are all a part of me and they all have a role to play, right? And once I realized that about myself, that, you know, things that I didn't like about my body, about my approach to life, or, you know, my inner talk that I had within myself about opinion of me, about my look, about my behavior, or, oh, I should have done it better, I should have responded better. You know, all of this is basically condemning and not accepting the parts of me. So, of course, I will be doing that with another person who is a little bit different than me. But let's be honest, you know, the beauty is in the fact that we are all different, that we are all unique. We're all different, unique human beings. How come we are not able to see everybody and enjoy the unique beings that they are, and just being able to see the beauty in that difference, right? Now, I'm not saying you have to be in a relationship with every second person, right? That's not what I'm saying. But in your life, if circumstantially you have attracted a person or a situation where some part of you wants to condemn that person, ask yourself, what is it within yourself that you are condemning, and why right now that feeling is being triggered? Because it has nothing to do with that person, right? It's just you not accepting that person the way they are, which means you're not accepting all the parts of you.
Mm-hmm. So if a person triggers you, it means that the same thing that triggers you in that person is you're condemning it in yourself, right?
So, for example, you have a vision or an idea of what beauty is like, right? And then you drag your body towards that vision, or you have to look like this, you have to do this, and if you don't look like this, then you are not completely happy with your body, which means you are condemning your body for the way it looks. Okay? So, and then you have this vision of what beauty is, and then you go into the world and you see someone, and you can say, oh, she or he, not pretty, not handsome, based on your vision, right? Which is also very relative. Your vision, it's, doesn't mean that everybody sees it that way, right? It's just you condemning something that is not that doesn't coincide with the present perception that you have. Whether it's beauty, whether it's the way they should behave, the way they talk, or the way they treat you, right? But in reality, it all comes down to the way you treat yourself, the way you talk to yourself. If you have a loving inner talk, you will go into the world, there will be nothing to condemn. You will see the beauty in difference, in every difference that you experience. So there are two ways of living life. One way is in resistance to what it is. You condemning that person will never change that person. And in fact, it's even gonna be making it difficult to help them change as well. Because the most powerful energy in the universe is neutral energy, where you actually see things the way they are. And by you not energizing, not sending energy towards that, you actually disconnect that feeling from that experience, and you're no longer charging it, so it will no longer repeat itself. So by you becoming more neutral, which means accepting everything the way things are without condemning, you will be transforming reality, and you will start changing people without even realizing that. But it will all start because you changed your inner perception of the world and yourself, right? So two ways of living life: resistance or acceptance. Condemning someone is just a symptom that you are still in resistance to the way things are, to the way life is, and the way people are and the way you are ultimately, right? Accepting everything and being able to actually fall in love with things that used to trigger you or that you used to condemn, that's a huge progress, because that is also a sign that you change the old narrative that was based on resistance. Now you're expanding your perception and you accepting more. So resistance or acceptance, condemning someone or something, it's resistance to what it is. Accepting, it's acceptance, right? She was saying, right? Accepting, accepting the person the way they are. Yeah, if you accept, it's love. If I accept you the way you are without the desire to change you, that's love. Mm-hmm. Which means I'm including you as a part of me. I'm sharing something and I'm giving you without expectation to giving anything in return to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next question.
Was I able to elevate your perception? How would you answer this question now?
Yes, easier because it's hard to accept everything you in yourself. It's harder to accept yourself than to condemn any parts of yourself, right?
It depends where you're at. For me, it's easy to accept everything right now.
For most people. But we're all coming to this.
And I know I freak people out, everybody who knows me. Yeah, people can't understand how I can be in eternally fantastic state of being because I'm accepting everything. I'm an intimate relationship with reality. If people ask me, are you in a relationship? Yes, I am. I'm an intimate relationship with reality.
That's a cool state to be. How to avoid setting a child against the other parent during a divorce? Yeah, that's one of the things that arises
very
while
useful
divorce.
Useful aspect to touch on.
Yeah, and I have a child, and I'm now in the process of divorce. We actually talked with my husband about that it's our relationship. It has nothing to do with the child, and we shouldn't tell anything bad about each other to our son. But I think in some couples it appears unconsciously, like when you have a lot of anger to the partner, you might just in some conversation tell something bad, and the child would think it's true, but it's actually his perception of the things, and he's condemning. Like his resistance to the divorce and to this stage when the partner he doesn't want to let go sometimes, and I think parents understand that that's bad, but still sometimes do. And how to avoid it? Well, I guess talk about it and learn to let go with love when you actually don't have bad feelings about the partner that you're divorcing, but you're sincerely grateful for the years that you spent together, for all the happy moments, and wish him or her luck with their future life. And when it's really what you think, and hope he and you become happy alone or in next relationship apart.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to the amount of inner work people have done on themselves, and how much they realize that it actually has nothing to do with your ex-partner. Like the divorce, it has nothing to do with your ex-partner. And understanding that you're not divorcing your ex-partner, you are divorcing the old version of you. And if somebody is resisting that process, that will be the source of anger. Like if a person is very much clinging to the old version of them, and they are, let's say, being left, they want to experience the same amount of anger they had in a relationship. They want to experience the same amount of fear. Like they are attached to those frequencies. But circumstantially, divorce is like, it's the end of those frequencies. But their mind is resisting to something new, right? That's why they are clinging to the old, because it's familiar, right? And that will be the source of the anger, right? And anger is a very strong, strong frequency that makes people do a lot of stupid things. And they are just going to be multiplying it through their child. Whatever state of being they are in, whether it's anger, they will be passing it on to a poor child, right? But it happens unconsciously. That's the thing that in a lot of people, it just happens unconsciously. A lot of people are not self-aware to the point where they take responsibility for the state of being they're in, right? They don't blame another partner. I mean, if they were self-aware to that level, probably that divorce wouldn't happen, maybe. If both partners were at that level of self-awareness of their anger, of their states of being, right? They wouldn't be able to collect, those low frequencies anyways, right? So the longevity of relationship lasts on frequency of love, right? And if there is a lot of frequency of fear, anger, blah, 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 then of course relationship falls apart, right? So that's, it's all interconnected. And I think divorce can also be a good opportunity for both partners to start doing inner work and an inspiration for them to evolve and keep looking for their truth within, not through a replacement, but through inner work and slowing down life and whatever nonsense they used to do. They have to start doing something different and something else.
And it's, I think, easier to blame someone else why the marriage didn't work than to work on yourself.
Yeah.
The next question is how to find a balance between work and leisure. For me, it's really hard because when you love what you do, you can work all the time, which I mostly do. But I know that it's also useful to take rest and like to disconnect from all work stuff. But for me, for example, as all of my business is online and it's social media, I'm always with the phone, and I know that Mira can take the phone away for
easy
like several days. I never practiced that. Maybe I should, but I never done it before. So for me, that is a challenge to have this balance. But because my work is actually my hobby and it's what I love to do, I don't get tired that much from work.
Because I feel like you are very aligned with the talent kit or the toolbox that your soul came here with. Each consciousness, when we enter the body, we have our own talent toolbox, right? Talents and skills that we are here to offer to the world. And it's actually like, I love seeing how you were able to uncover that in your early time of your life, right? Even though as much as probably the surrounding at the time were telling you need an 8-to-5 job, probably, right? I'm really happy that you didn't conform to that and you followed your passion to do what you felt like you like, That's what I admire in you, Lila, that you actually followed your inner desire to do what you love. You didn't follow the conditioning of the society, or maybe I don't know what or parents. Sometimes parents would tell us, "Oh, you need to get this job because it's high paid job," right? I don't care about money. I want to enjoy.
Yeah.
Money will be an outcome of how much I enjoy what I do. That's my approach, right? So I think the best way to find balance between work and leisure is to choose the work that is your leisure. Like, for example, I love talking on these conversations and doing introspective coaching with people, exploring the parts of themselves that probably they never thought existed. I could talk about it day and night. Like
Until 4 a.m.
Yes. Like I wouldn't fall asleep. Like I would be so full of energy, and I wouldn't never want to procrastinate it, actually, because my desire for that is so strong, and I will do it for free. In fact, up until this point, all the work I've done for free because I am enjoying it. Like all people that I've helped, and I spend a lot of time. Sometimes people that, live with me, like my sister, for example, she heard me talking on the phone, helping people, right? She's like, you should, and not only you, like a few others as well. And she's like, well, you spend so much time actually coaching and helping people, and you're doing it for free. I'm like, yeah, like why? For me, the reward is that I'm actually helping them. And I am learning as well, because some things that I was able to find within myself, now I'm practicing. Like one thing is sitting in meditation and being blissed out. Another thing is how can you maintain the state of being in the world, interacting with the world, is when you share this bliss with others. So I'm training that skill to share it with others. And I'm at this stage in my life where, yes, I do that for free for people that are dear to me and for people that I love, because, maybe I didn't monetize on you, Lila, but this project is an outcome which is actually way more than any money, right? Because it worked for you and you got inspired by it.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Yeah, really, it's coming from my heart. So, and I was helping you from my heart. And I didn't think about any reward, because for me it wasn't a transaction. I was my authentic self. I was sharing what worked for me, and it resonated with you to the level where it inspired you to create a platform where we're sharing this. Isn't it beautiful?
It is. Yeah.
So that's why I am never worried about how many followers we have, like all this like recognition or whatever. I am doing it actually for myself because I am enjoying doing it. That's first and foremost. I am my authentic self. I'm not doing it for money. Money will come. I'm sure that it will be monetized, because the energy will have to be transformed. The energy we are giving into the world will have to come back to us in some way. And I'm excited to hear it and see in which ways it will come back, right? So that's my approach, I just think that work and leisure shouldn't be divided, and leisure should become what people call work, but it will never feel like work.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I struggle with procrastination. How can I help myself? I think this is also connected to the previous one, because when you procrastinate, it means that you don't want to do it, and then you have to find the cause, like why don't you want to do it? Because you don't. if that's just like, even in a perfect job, there can be some technical moments, for example, which you don't like doing, and then you can just delegate it. If you're like, as a whole, you like this thing which you do, and so I mean, if some parts you don't get satisfaction from them, you can just delegate them and keep time for the parts that you love to do. But as a whole, like, think not make yourself do things, but understand why you don't want to do that. Maybe change the sphere that you're working in.
Yeah. I think the desire is like it has to be so strong, like such a burning desire to have that experience, right? That procrastination wouldn't even be there, right? Like think about something that you really have burning desire for. Would you want to delay it from happening, or you want to experience it now?
No.
Yeah, so why would you procrastinate? Then it just, like what you said, it means that whatever you're doing right now, you don't really have a burning desire to do it, right? And there is nothing wrong with that, because we live in the world where everybody has bills to pay and, obligations to complete and take care of others, family members. So I get that. And for me, it took a while to find that burning desire of what I want to do in life. And it was not an easy journey, to find what I want to do in life, even I could do it for free, like I said, right? Which I will never procrastinate. If Lila wants to talk to me now, and share something, why would I procrastinate? I want that feeling in me where I can help. I want that feeling in me where my perspective and whatever I came into this world to do, I want to experience that feeling that I'm able to guide people to a happier life. Like I came into this life to experience that feeling, right? I didn't come here to make money. I didn't come here to become famous. Like those are the things I'm not even concerned about. I'm here to experience the feeling that I'm guiding somebody towards a happier life. And I will never procrastinate with that. And I will actually see in every puzzle that comes into everyday life, I can see the connection, how it's connected with this main vision that I have for life. So I think it also can help for you is that you can reflect on, what are the things that you love doing the most? What are the like some burning desires that you have within yourself that you used to suppress, and start moving in that direction. Just don't procrastinate with your desires. Because I also notice with a lot of people is that because somebody told them it's wrong, or they were told that good girls don't do that, or bad boys do that, all this morality and things like that. I mean, if you are following your passion, you're following your desire, you're not hurting anyone, intentionally, right? And your desire has nothing to do with hurting anyone intentionally. You should follow it, right? And procrastination won't be even a part of your experience. Procrastination also can be an outcome of fears as well that you have, even though you want something, yes, you want it, but you have fear. And that's why you procrastinate, because you don't feel like you are worthy enough or good enough to receive that experience yet. It's a journey. So don't be too tough on yourself, too hard on yourself, because, for me, it took 3 years to find what I want to do. And actually about a year from when I found out what I want to do, it took me a year to actually start envisioning the structure and how everything will be arranged about my, mission or about my intention that I have for life, and that people started arranging themselves around this mission or vision, right? Because like I said, I don't like social media stuff. I was procrastinating it for a year. Like, I just don't enjoy doing it. And I was like, well, the right people will find me. If they don't, then maybe something that I have to share is not resonating with humanity at this moment. So that's why I never did something that I didn't like. I always chose to do something that I like, and believe that if those parts that I don't like, I will always attract somebody who will love doing that part.
Mm-hmm. And the last question is how to be sure you're on your path. That's all also connected to the previous questions. I think when you're like doing what you love, when you're satisfied with your life, if that's also about work, about your job, then when you get positive feedback.
Let me ask you this question. Where else can you be on? Can you be on my path?
No, but a lot of people didn't find what they love, and they feel like...
But that's their path. At this moment, that's their path. And I think that's the starting point to actually accept the fact that they haven't found it yet, but they're curious and they want to know. And they will, actually, it's a very also dangerous desire, because that would mean they would have to be prepared that something in life will be happening that will be taking them away from the old version of who they are, to take them into the new version of where they want to go, right? Because your path is about evolving and constant growth and expansion, right? And if you are stuck not knowing if it's your path or not your path, that's just stagnation. And it's also a part of the path as well. And it can be just a sign that you need to slow down and stop the motion right now and observe where you're at. And in stillness and silence, hear a deeper voice within yourself and reconnect with what you want in your life. Follow your inner core desires and passions, and that what will take you closer to what you call your path, right?
As always, so deep and wise. Yeah.
Thank you.
So those were all of the questions that we received for this live. And if you have other questions, please also leave them in the comments below, and we can make... I think we will make this live videos regularly. We will talk how often we will do that. And thank you for watching this. Follow us on YouTube and watch our episodes of the podcast, Eternally Fantastic. And thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.